King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches men. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been.
For there's rum,
And gin,
and beer, and wine,
and brandy of logwood hue,
and hawk,
and port,
and flip combined
to make a man look blue.
He says be merry,
For his good sherry,
and Tom and Jerry, champagne and perry,
and spirits of every hue.
And we are back for another installment of Blind Pig Confessions.
Hey, boys.
What's happening?
Actually, there's not. We're a little light tonight.
Yeah, a little pig light.
Pig light.
Pig light. Good.
Pig lighting.
Piglet. Pig. Yes.
We're a couple piglets short of a.
Of a
No,
full
no.
trough.
There you
A
go.
full herd.
Hold on. Did you just call Jerry and I fat? Is that what they did? I really liked you guys the last time we worked together. I see how it is.
And of course, that's the voice of Mr. Eric Fear. Pleasure to have you on from Round Town Brewery.
Yep, we are hanging downtown in the round town.
All right, getting down.
Thanks for
And
joining us.
I can do this all night. We just rhyme.
And the man next to you, Mr. Jerry Sutherland,
Hello, yes.
the owner. And are you the head brewer as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brewer
He's,
and
The
he's
brew, the brewmeister.
The brewmeister, that's right.
Sure.
Yes. It's glad to be here, man. This is a really cool place.
I love it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I dig the old factory. What was this place? Or is there still something going on? I think I saw a catering thing next door, but
Yeah.
or a mill or something.
It was, 94, 96 years old?
Oh, nice.
It was originally a wood mill.
Okay.
Builtwell Millworks.
Mhm.
So now it's called the Builtwell Event Center.
Okay.
So it's a little over 100,000 square feet total. We take about 16,000 square feet. There's a catering company and kitchen next door, about the same spot we have, and then the next 2 floors up are it's all event space.
Oh, nice.
Good deal.
Looks
Nice.
like I think I might have gone to a rave here back in like '93.
Did you have the key, or was it one of those?
No. I don't know. I just attended them. I wasn't the guy who set them up.
Okay.
You still have the glow sticks
That
from
was
Yeah, they still glow.
that was the period. I've heard some stories about this building at that point. It was a little scary.
Yeah. There might actually have been one down here.
So
that we went to.
Probably.
You might have been right at home.
Yeah.
It,
That was the old days.
Of course, joining us tonight as well is the comedian of Indianapolis, Mr. Jeremy Brown.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Sir.
This is a great. I love the exposed brick.
Yeah,
I really dig it.
it's awesome.
So that you were able to preserve that and make it part of the. I really like it a lot.
I love the high ceiling. The ceilings are awesome.
I
Yeah,
worked
it's
hard
just
on
a
that.
very cool place. Very homey.
Yeah, we honestly
Thanks.
just tried to expose the bones
Yeah.
and build what we had to, but this place has some charm that
Yeah.
that you pay for.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got lucky; it happened to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, what brought about? You're the brewmeister, but why around town? What happened? What made you say I'm not your home brewer, and then said I got to take this to the streets? Well, what happened?
No, so I've been brewing around Indy a little over 20 years.
Okay.
I actually need to. Dave Colt from Sun King and I kind of had a similar trajectory, but opposite sides of town. I started at Oak and Barrel Brewing Company.
Okay.
I was just going to IUPUI, doing some business classes, and I'd always worked in restaurants, and so I was serving and waiting tables when I first started there at the Oak and Barrel, and was interested in the beer and beer side of it. So I started delivering beer a couple days a week, and then had to wash the kegs and fill the kegs, and then wash the tanks that the beer in the kegs came from, and just kind of backed my way into that. And I probably had the distinction of the longest assistant brewer in history, because when I started, there was 8 or 9 breweries in the state, and 10 years later, when I finally I moved on to Rock Bottom through a crooked path, and I think there were only 19 breweries at that point. There was a few that opened and closed. There were no jobs.
Right.
And a lot of them at that time were kind of the more corporate type brewery, like the Rock Bottom. That's all I ever kind of saw, like where I was growing up, Arizona and even like Florida.
Yeah.
You were seeing all the commercial breweries.
And in the 90s and early 2000s, it was more kind of the brew pub scene. as opposed to kind of the
Right.
production scene,
Right.
production brewery thing that's taken off now. So people would do that, and they might do a little bit of side production. Like at one time, I think we at the Oaken Barrel might have been the biggest in the state at the whole 2,500 barrels a year. You know,
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
so yeah, I just kind of got into it that way, and just really like the beer. Drank beer my whole life. I figured it was my job to put some back. So.
Right.
It's awesome.
Before we started the show, we got some beers, and Pat and I got our beer switched. And I wasn't going to say anything because I love that Irish. God, that stuff.
It is good stuff, isn't it?
It's delicious. Like, man, I hope he doesn't know this. I got this. So,
I didn't turn over the porter because I didn't like it. I was just.
no, I know. I haven't had.
If you want to put some money in, you get your name on a mug like mine.
Actually, wait. You were telling a story earlier though. You don't know how you got that mug or how
Right.
your name got on it.
Yeah, I don't remember much of the late 90s.
Did you officiate a wedding or bartend a wedding, or how'd that story go?
It was So I moved right about the time we started brewing. I moved out of a house after 17 years, and I had cases of pint glasses and steins, and these are some pewter mugs, and so we put them up, and I had a set of 4 that was from my grandmother's house after she passed, and found this one that has my name on it on one side, and the other side it says Marie and Dan 10/17/98. Oops, I should have not said names. So I couldn't.
Murray and Dan are probably divorced by now anyway. It's
I
fine.
couldn't-
It's like it's 50% chance that they are. So
I
think
couldn't
it's
figure out for the
statistics.
life of me who it was. I just couldn't figure out who Marie and Dan were. And I did finally figure that out. After
Oh,
a
you
while.
did? Okay.
Somebody Googled it and weddings and that date in
Wow.
Indiana, and
Really?
so yeah, that was the 90s for me.
Sounds about like my 90s. I have no clue.
You were at the raves, and
Yeah.
I was wedding crashing.
Google wasn't around then, so he just.
No. Yep. Exactly. No clue.
No doubt. You have a favorite style of brewing or style of beer yourself, or you just
What do you
love
lean
it all?
towards?
No, it kind of goes seasonal for me.
Mhm.
I do tend to like, I'm getting into the point where I like kind of your lighter, refreshing beers.
For the summer, yeah.
I'm definitely a hophead. I mean,
Mhm.
I always go back to hoppy beers. I like pales and IPAs, but it kind of goes seasonal for me.
Mhm.
The one thing, you love wheat beers.
Yeah,
We haven't really played with wheat beers yet, but
right.
Oh, really?
we will.
Yeah, but I'm starting to get into. I've been around a couple spots, and some nice Hefeweizens are coming out right
Mhm.
now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's what I've been trying to get onto. But just and it could go with anything. Just open up, wake up a day and whatever.
Whatever sounds
right.
good that day.
Yeah, yeah. So these days, I like to start my sessions with our Round Town Lager.
Right.
It's a good place for me to start.
Yeah.
Sometimes I jump up into a little bit bigger beers or hoppier beers or darker beers, and sometimes I just stay with that one because it's hit me just right.
Yeah.
It's my everyday beer.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that lager. I know we were at Chili Water. That's what brought us to Round Town. Was Skip was talking about all you guys weren't even open yet, and he's like, man, when these guys open, you gotta get down there. He couldn't say enough about you, Jerry, and loving the beer. So
Where were we at?
I love that lager. They get a great lager. So
Where were we at that you guys? Why am I drawing a blank? Was it next hot model? Where were we at? Yeah, was it hot model?
Next hot
right.
model.
Yeah. Okay.
Next
Yeah.
hot model, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Max and I.
sorry, my brain's not working.
It was early in the night.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm assuming you had a couple beers.
I had a few.
Fair enough.
a few.
Fair
They
enough.
went to that rave after, and
Yeah,
Mushroom
I
flashback from the rave.
I can't do man. I can't do the raves anymore, man. I can't.
God no,
Can't do
Jenny.
glow sticks and popping
Hey,
village
you might wanna
village
stop.
pantry ephedrine
You might want to stop.
all night long.
Some
Village pantry.
some jerks put a brewery into his favorite rave location.
I used to come down. Come on, man. I used to come down here like Footloose and just rave away with nobody here.
Pull up the Beetle and open up the doors.
Right, just swinging off of rafters and drinking
was-
whiskey
this was
straight out
not
of the
a-
bottle. And
This was not a feed and seed.
I can see you doing some cartwheels in here. You think?
Yeah, sure.
across county lines.
What's that state?
Sometimes you just gotta dance.
Wow.
Well, Aaron, now what's your story? Are you a brewer yourself?
No, I'll never insult Jerry by calling myself a brewer at this place. I'll help him out when he needs it.
You're just a beer lover?
I mean, yes, I'm a geek.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm a geek. Get into it a little bit later, but yeah, I mean, I've homebrewed for 15, 16 years.
I feel like such an
I've been in the
amateur.
beer business for quite a while. And I study the game. I have the certifications that prove that I'm a beer geek. I am one of the few certified cicerones in the state.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool, I guess.
No,
But the way
I find that
What
impressive.
explain that? You're one of the few what in the States?
Well, so there's the cicerone program is like the beer equivalent of being a sommelier.
Okay.
And so there's the level 1, which is all online, and it's it's not the hardest test, but it's definitely not easy if you don't know beer.
Sure.
And that puts you in the certified beer server or level 1.
Right.
Level 2 is certified cicerone, and it's like a 4-hour test. There's it's pretty intense.
Is there a lot of drinking involved in this test?
There's a tasting portion. I wouldn't call it a lot.
Damn.
You're gonna want to
This
spend
is like an awesome class to take.
You can. It's one of those tests where you can also pay for their classes.
Gotcha.
So, and then there's a third level. Well, they've actually now made a level 2 plus. I don't remember what they call that. And then there's also the master level, and there's literally there might be 15 of them in the world at this point.
Wow.
Those people know beer.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day test. I don't want to take it.
No, I gotta step up. I gotta step up my game. You know what I mean? It's like that's. I had no idea that was a thing. That's,
honestly, I mean, it's not something that you need. It's
Right.
it helps.
it's kind of cool to have it though.
Does that allow you to judge, or is that the BJCP only does?
I have judged with that, but
Okay.
technically BJCP should be
Okay.
where you want to be. It's one of those things that it looks good on your resume. Just like any job, there's certifications you can have.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting it down. It's cool, but just because you don't have that doesn't mean you don't know beer.
Yeah.
No, sure, yeah.
It's like I'm certified in repairing dot matrix printers, so that looks really good on my computer resume.
The way I say this half jokingly, but honestly, the way I look at it, the way I compare it is Jerry's the artist, and I'm the art historian.
That works.
Jerry looks at that painting, and he knows it needs that stroke vertically, or horizontally left or right. He doesn't necessarily know why or what he was thinking when he was doing it. Why he just knows that's how it needs to be for it to be best. I have to explain to people why he did it.
If you drop,
why he's doing that,
if you
and
drop
explain-
toothpicks on the floor, I can count them.
It's it's one of those things.
There's
But
still 2 in the box.
So all right, we took that a little further than I meant, but so there's. Do you think Van Gogh was looking at his paintings and he's like, this is what I want people to feel when this,
Right.
this is
Absolutely
this is
not.
what I'm feeling and I'm trying to express in this. No,
Yeah.
he just did it. He just expressed what was in that twisted head of his at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
And he was only half listening to everyone. So.
Exactly. And so Jerry has a lot of similarities with the ancient there.
That was
whatever.
pretty solid. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the, I like the ear
Jeremy,
joke a
Jeremy
lot.
might steal that one.
I like that a lot.
Eric knows a lot more about beer than I do.
But
No, I
your
know
job
how to-
is the
I just know how to make
flavors
the
and-
flavors.
Right.
I just know how to talk to people about it. Is
Yeah.
all.
Oh, yeah.
And-
But it's a good combo though. You need that.
Oh, I do.
IT world for me. I don't. There's always, and it's a joke. Even from Office Space, there's the guy who's good at dealing with people, and then he talks for the engineers because engineers aren't good at dealing with people.
Right.
Not that you're not good dealing with people, but I talk my talk, and sometimes where I work, we have a translator basically who translates my nerd speak to non-nerd speak so everybody can understand.
Yeah. No,
So,
absolutely.
no, and
And
it's a good combo.
we have kind of some of that. I mean, Jerry actually is really good talking with people.
Awesome.
Sometimes he needs. I feel like he's better if I'm there because if he'll go off and he'll start talking about the differences that he got in the grain, and I'm like, give him the 15-second version. Tell him it's a Vienna lager.
I get that a lot too.
and just give him that. I'm like,
yeah.
think like a salesman for a minute.
Because most
like-
people, if you tell them this is a Vienna lager, that'll be good enough for them.
Right. And then there's going to be the people that want to know more, and then
Definitely.
that's when you unleash everything.
Right.
But
And
yeah.
the people that want to know more are probably certified like you are as far as knowing more about beer than the average person, correct?
maybe
Some of them, but
Maybe.
there's a lot of people who really get deep into it.
Yeah, you don't have to
really
be
understand.
You don't have to be
grains.
certified to be a beer geek. You're just
Every
curious.
degree in between.
Yeah.
Just gotta love beer.
Yeah,
Man.
I like it.
Speaking of, let's get on.
Where we at? Well, you got a
sample.
bunch of stuff over there. We're gonna make
Yeah.
sure it doesn't get warm. Thankfully, the sun went down a little bit, and
Yeah, it's not going to heat up.
I
You're blocking the sun.
I am. Well, I'm not that. Well, geez.
No, I'm just saying the angle. I'm not saying what the size. I'm just saying the angle.
I think this one.
This one first.
I think that's the lager. If you pull it out, yeah, that's definitely the
Yeah.
lager.
Thank you,
I
sir.
guess if we have Jerry try it
That's
first, he should
this
know.
side is the coffee. This side is the coffee. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were actually.
The column.
Gotcha.
So we
Nice and light. And
in the 3 containers there, the ones in the black one and the ones in the blue one are the 4 house beers. The ones in the middle are the 2 specialties that we have going on right
gotcha.
now.
All right. So what's this
So
one?
that's the Round Town Lager.
This is the Round Town Lager.
Jerry, you want to talk about the grain bill?
Well,
And you can go over the 15-second version
That's-
because our listeners like to hear some stuff.
88.9%. Vienna malt.
I like it.
I like it. I love this stuff.
So
all three.
That's
These are all
our-
three
that's
the same
our
thing.
everyday
Round Town
beer.
Lager.
Yeah.
That's our everyday beer. That's
Yeah.
Just happens to fit in a Vienna style category. It's just kind of a beer that has been in my head for a long time, and it's the beer that I wanted. If I ever had a brewery, that's the beer I wanted. You know, if
see
I
why.
only got to pick one, I guess.
in the
Like
past.
I said, I'm a hop head, but lagers aren't easy.
No, that's
especially nice.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask because
Nice, delicate lagers,
Right.
where you just not
I
it's
dig it.
overpowering anyway.
Yeah.
it's so much easier to throw an IPA or something else together. Lagers take time.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, so
Very
It's
it's,
getting a
tasty.
real good. It's just an easy solid. It's not too much. What's the IBU on that?
4.8.
Oh,
4.8. I like that
IBU
you.
or ABV?
Oh, IBU is 28. Sorry.
okay. Yeah, I was
ABV
gonna say
4.8,
IBU of
28
4.8. Oh.
I like though that you mentioned like it just happens to fit into the Vienna Lager category because it's only in the past year or two that they actually changed the specs on the Vienna Lager style, and so now we do call it Vienna Lager. Initially, we didn't
You're
even know
welcome.
about that. It was one of the best, like the master judges in the state. It was like, oh yeah, no, it fits now. I'm like, oh wow, it
All right.
does.
What
It
was
does.
that? What was the?
What was it
difference?
before?
They increased the limit on the IBUs.
Oh, okay.
We
Gotcha.
thought we had just kind of overhopped it just a little bit, so we were
Mm-hmm.
kind of calling it Americanized, just to keep that sweetness that you get from the malt
Mhm.
from being
Definitely.
overpowering. So it really finishes clean. You're not
It does.
getting
It's
you're not
beautiful.
getting any like major hop presence at all. It's
No.
just it's a beer that makes you want to take another sip.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it fits right in the middle of that category,
Yeah,
we're gonna have some fun with it.
I like it. No.
Yeah, I love the maltiness. I love these. It's beautiful.
I came up with the name.
Genius.
Really creative.
That took
And-
a while, huh?
And I mean, really, the whole concept was yours. It took me.
Oh, yeah.
You pitched it to me, and it took me like 2 or 3 seconds because I had to finish the sip I was taking before I said yes, let's do it. And then you did steal some marketing stuff from Yingling and made me think you came up with it on your own. so we don't use that because we did some research and found out. I was like, oh, that's brilliant, Jerry.
I didn't think they'd ever really come.
Just say, yeah, you didn't know you were going to come here then. Son of a bitch.
Oddly enough,
Of course, they wait all these years and come right after we start a brewery.
oddly enough, we knew.
So,
We knew
what's
that-
your take on that? Do you think they waited too long? Do you think they should have done it 10 years ago? They think they owed.
Our take on
it'd
that
be
is they can
interesting.
do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
I mean, honestly, that's such a at this point, I believe the media's covered it enough.
Yeah.
Like I have no issues with Yingling.
No, I love the beer. I
We've
haven't had
gained
anything with
we've
it at
gained a
all.
line for each line that we've lost to Yingling. You know, it's really
Yeah.
had no effect on our sales.
Right.
I don't think it's had an effect on a lot of things.
yeah.
I mean, people that lived in that region that could get Yingling on a regular basis to go to the local beer store or whatever and get Yingling that have moved out of that region into this region are excited about it. Everyone else is just like, eh.
Well, actually, it's peaked and gone because we did it on another show where it peaked up for a month, and now bars are having trouble emptying out the kegs.
But that's the reason
so
because
yeah, it waited too
the
long. and there's-
novelty wore off. It's
But
like
there's also 180 other freaking breweries.
if you moved out west,
better beer
if
everywhere.
you moved out west and you didn't have White Castle and they built a White Castle in your neighborhood, you'd be excited for about a month, and then it'd wear off.
I got it. All right, let me ask then. So let's say
It's
it's
not a bad
let's say it's a
beer.
little different. So it also, they waited, right? And then when it hit, they had made that, their distributor had made that promise, you're going to have this many lines in the state. And it went everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
If you still had to search a little bit to find it, don't you think you'd still be searching to find it
Yeah.
at this point? I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm actually asking because it's always supply and demand.
Yeah, it's everywhere still, but there's only like one line now, and the keg's taking forever to tap.
Right. Okay.
I just think it's fun how just because of the craft brewery scene, exploding, that again, 8-10 years ago, everybody was still yinging, when's it coming here? When did it come here?
Right.
Now everyone's like, we got great lagers in the
we're
city.
good.
So
Yeah, we don't need your beer, man. We're
but
good.
again, Yingling's a good beer, so there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
it's a great beer.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Yingling,
Yeah.
but I think there's the availability of other beers that are way more superior than that. Hurt them a lot. I think
Well,
that
I grew up on Guinness. I love Guinness, but now there's so many great stouts out there. We make stouts, I think, better than anybody.
correct.
Now,
But the first time I ever had Guinness, I thought I was reborn. It was the greatest thing I ever had in my life. But now, living in Marion County, Hamilton County, wherever, there's so many breweries with great stouts and porters and dark beers.
There's a great one around town, I tell you.
It's like, and the thing about it is, Guinness isn't bad. It's just there's so many more
I still
available.
love it.
Yeah,
Jerry.
Do you guys want to go play pinball? I'm getting bored with this.
I said we need to come back on Tuesday when there's free pinball because I don't know if you guys have the ability to set that machine for free pinball, but I'd like to.
No, well, do
you have to call something in, or
we're just.
Is it free all the
people.
time?
It's only free on Tuesday, but I was
I don't know
like
if you guys
looking
can
at
pull
it
some
like,
strings.
That's like the whole free beer tomorrow thing.
Yeah, no, it's actually free on Tuesday. We are able to set it. We didn't just lie to you and tell you, like, haha, we got you. Buy a beer. No, we do have it free on Tuesdays.
You guys got
your
Euchre
guys,
too, and
have you guys met the guys at the Pin Vault?
No,
those
not
guys
yet.
are fantastic.
Awesome.
There's that whole renaissance of pinball going on in Fountain
Yeah.
Square. These guys are all at the heart of it, and they're just solid people.
I used to work on those. Those things are a pain in the ass to repair.
Yeah. Well,
Good Lord.
this belongs to one of those guys, and so he keeps the quarters to pay for the maintenance.
Right.
And he keeps it going. That thing is playing like it's brand new right now. He
Awesome.
was just in over the weekend. It's beautiful.
You guys have
Sorry.
Tuesday's a vinyl night too, I see.
Yeah,
I like it.
we actually have the original Dogfish Head record player. They've been doing one every year for Record Store Day. So we have the first one. No, original.
you're
It's only
kidding me.
it's only 3 years old, but we do have the first.
Right.
And so we rock that on Tuesdays. Bring in your vinyl, have some fun. We'll let
Oh,
you
you bring in
DJ.
your own vinyl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can play
nice.
ours, but the whole
Oh,
point
no,
of
that's
Vinyl Night
awesome.
is you bring what you have. We give you we hope we get to a point where we have to limit people. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you get 20 minutes.
Right.
But right now, bring what you have. Let's play it. Let's have some fun.
Nice.
Sweet. What night is that?
Tuesdays.
It's Tuesday night
Every
as well.
Tuesday.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
There's something
Nice.
about that sound, the pop and the crack or whatever. That's just it's the
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, I was always kind of a skeptic until the past couple of years, and then I bought my dad a record player for Christmas, and because he had a huge collection. I was like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
well this is kind of trendy. Let's see what it's all about. And by the end of that Christmas, I was hooked. We had some fun. There was some nostalgia setting it up. There
Right,
was,
yeah, yeah.
That old school. I'm like, Dad, I don't know what to do here. He's like, well, I'm like, what do we do with this rubber band looking thing? He's like, son, listen, we perfected this in the '60s.
Yeah, you put a
We
rubber
got
band in
this.
the quarter or whatever.
Like,
it
that
is.
was actually what spun it.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Went
what
from the
real-
motor to the actual
Yeah.
turntable portion. I
Oh.
was like,
yeah.
I was like, are you serious? I was like, is this like precise? He's like, we perfected it. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah,
And
right.
then we got past that, and then it was like, now how do we hook it up to a modern receiver? And I was like, I got this, Dad. Don't
No,
worry
yeah.
about it. Don't worry about it.
We perfected this part. We're good.
Like my
Yeah.
dad still has an 8-track player in his garage who's out there tinkering around.
Does it still work?
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Oh,
but it's
that's
like
awesome.
you hear that when it skips to the next track, and it's like, and he's out there tinkering around. He's got his 8-track. Oh yeah, it still works perfect. He's got
Nice.
the speaker set up, and yeah.
I tried to
Nice.
buy an old. It was like this old Thunderbird, and it had an 8-track in it. This thing was solid gold, had gold rims. It was so ugly, it was beautiful.
So how does that?
And he wanted like $2,200 for this thing. It was in Plymouth, and I had $2,000 cash. I said, I'll give you $2,000 cash because I can't do it. It's my mother's car, and I can't. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. He would not go down.
200.
He would not take $2,000 cash. I'm like, all right, see you later. But now I kind of kick myself. Wish
But it
I
had an
grabbed
8-track player
It had
in
the
it?
old oval windows in the back.
Oh,
it was
nice.
awesome. Yeah, it had an 8-track and it worked great. Yeah.
My dad still got one of those old Kenwoods that was encased in wood and the big old tall speakers, and the speakers still work. They've been sitting in a garage in Florida for 15 years and now in Texas for a couple of years. I guess my brother took them out. Shit still works.
It was built to last then.
The subs aren't blown. I figured the cones would have been, dried out and rotted.
I'm passing.
But man, I like some of the classic stuff.
When
if you want to
now.
go in the right tasting order, go with the Irish
are we
coffee
doing here?
next. I mean,
when my grandfather died, we found a bunch of
that was the IPA. So
old,
Irish coffee's right there, yeah.
old film strip projector porn. It's the same thing. We're going back to vintage. You know what I mean? Like it's the whole throwback thing, and we found a bunch of that, and we got rid of it. So.
My dad's. I got to pick up my reel. My dad's still got a reel to reel. He's giving me
Nice.
when I go back to Texas next time.
Those sound great too.
He's got the. I think he's still got the original like reel to reel like Star Wars soundtrack.
That's awesome.
You hear that in background?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, sorry, we got off on the old school audio, but man, that's good. I like the vinyl night. That's awesome, man.
It just got warm and fuzzy in here. I'm
It
not
did,
Sure
I like
it.
yeah. What's going on.
It all gets fuzzy when you talk about porn.
well, classic porn, yes.
Real porn. It's instant fuzzy.
All right, so we're on the which one? What's this, Jerry? This
Irish
is our
stout?
Irish.
That's the Irish coffee.
Oh, yeah,
It's Irish coffee.
That's what I've been having since I got here. I do love the Irish coffee one.
It's my
It's a
favorite.
it's a nice ale. It's
Yeah. So we start with we have one of our minority partners owns O'Reilly's Irish restaurants and pubs.
okay.
They're actually getting ready to open one right there on Main Street in Speedway.
Oh, nice.
So
Jerry's good at being a shill. I like it. I like it.
Shameless plug.
Plug.
got tired of talking about pinball, so no. So we'd always planned on brewing an Irish red ale for him, and when we first started, that was one of our first kettles we brewed, and we were just filling 2 restaurants they'll have 4 here shortly. They have one right downtown by the Field House, one down in Greenwood, and they've had one in Fort Wayne for a while. But for our first couple months, we weren't going to make that trek up to there. So
Right.
made this what I hope is a pretty traditional Irish red. Again, it's just kind of what I wanted to come out. I didn't necessarily read the style guidelines and try to go by all that there was. I read a little bit about things and just decided to.
I didn't know it was a red.
Yes.
I don't really like
Well,
red. I don't
that's
normally
funny
like
part.
reds, and I've been drinking. I think I'm on my second pint.
Put it in the light.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what I was telling you earlier. I love the stouts.
red ale.
I just love this Irish coffee because it's just, it's got that, but it's a beautiful flavor. It's just that
the
that
coffee's
tint,
right
that coffee
there.
Tint is beautiful.
It's not It's not overpowering. It's got a good nose to it. The IBUs are low enough that I'm not a hophead.
Yeah.
So once the IBUs start hitting like 40 and high, I can drink one, but it's not where I'm staying for the night. This is kind of the stuff I can stay for the night. And normally it won't be a red because reds were never my thing. I mean, Killian's was what I grew up on, and we were all kind of burnt out on that. It's like the same reason I don't drink Southern Comfort anymore, because I put away too many bottles of that,
I feel you.
in when I was 21.
Nice. and honestly, in choosing to do a red, a coffee red, we kind of. It seems like there's 2 trends. You go with coffee beers. You got your stouts, your porters. They're awesome.
We get a lot of those.
They're amazing. They really are. And then there's go the other way and do like a blonde ale, do something super light, and then it just ends up being like diluted coffee with a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
The red and like your browns and things like that, like you actually get to have both aspects dancing. I feel like we use some really, really good coffee. Liz Laughlin, Limelight Coffee Roasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plug.
Liz,
Nice.
So we start with some really, really good coffee, and then we start with some really, really good beer. And when we blend those 2 together, I feel like both aspects are better together than they would be separately.
Is it any trade secret, or are you brewing the coffee and putting a cold brewed coffee in, or are you?
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what one of my former mentors and somebody that Jerry worked with once upon a time.
I went too far.
You can line 25 brewers up, and you can ask them what the best way is to introduce coffee into the beer. You're gonna get 25 different answers.
Oh yeah. I got you.
So
I think that's a good thing, though. It's all
Do it works
Yeah.
for you. Well, you
sure.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever do the style of actually almost like dry hopping, just putting the grounds in like a spider, and just sitting it in there, or is it almost always really just a cold, cold brewing or something? Because when we did ours, we were cold brewing.
Yeah, we use a cold brew. We use a cold brew, but like soaking the beans is definitely something that people do.
Okay.
I know of a few breweries that are doing that currently. You get pros and cons to every way that you do it.
Well, yeah, you're definitely a little harder, I think, probably to control some of that because you never know
what we're able to do, when you have so many different factors that are changing is, we're blending it after the fact. We're able to make, take the previous batch, and make sure that the current batch is exactly the same.
Right.
Awesome. So we're able to account for all those variables.
Yeah. We revisit each and every batch, with the coffee and the beer and the old batch, and we've come down to pretty good science, but we still make adjustments. We'll literally take to the milliliter of the coffee added to the beer.
I think one thing I do like about the red too, and even like when I go coffee, I don't really like the light coffee ones too often, but the red, this one isn't. It actually is okay as it warms up a little bit too. It doesn't need to be ice cold like the blondes. Even if it's coffee, it really need to stay ice cold to really keep the flavor you're looking for. But the porter stouts and even this red, you warm it up a little bit. You get a little more nose on the aroma on the nose, and and the flavor's still fine.
Oh yeah.
To plug Liz a little bit too. I brewed at Rock Bottom downtown for 10 years, from 05 to 15, and I think about 7 years in the middle, Liz Laughlin was a brewer at the North Side Rock Bottom, and great success, won national, international awards, and just fantastic brewer and a good friend of mine, and she just had done everything in brewing she wanted to, so she moved on to roasted coffee. So she's Limelight Coffee Roasters. It's just Liz. Liz is the one and only employee. She roasts the coffee. She goes out and sells it, and it's fantastic stuff. So I mean, I would have used Liz anyway, and not have worried about what it would come out as, because I know she'd be fantastic. But I had tried the coffee, and it was fantastic.
That seems to be taken off a bit now too. Even the craft coffee roasters, people have gotten tired of the big old. Granted, everybody still kind of stops off at a Starbucks if you're really craving something, or something like that. But yeah, because we've got bee coffee roasters, Limelight. Every time we go to a new beer festival, there's also more, there's more coffee people there.
There's a couple new ones popping up in Fishers as well downtown with the new everything going on with the downtown Fishers.
Oh yeah, with the nickel plate,
whatever.
No, with nickel plate district and all that.
The nickel plate district is really booming. So there's a lot of coffee shops popping up down there as well that are. Like you said, there's always Starbucks, but there's
you're really seeing that.
Right.
Less of the macro coffee things too. It's kind of it's a neat little merger between especially the beer. The craft brewery scene seems to really mesh with those people.
Oh yeah,
they go hand in hand. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, where are we at next, man? I'm thirsty.
Far end would be the Happy Face Pale Ale.
Happy Face Pale Ale.
Oh, this should be good.
So while he's dishing these out, is there a big ratio female to male brewers? Like you said, your friend Liz was. Are the ladies involved a lot more now?
We're seeing it a lot.
For sure.
There's quite a few.
For sure. I worked
at least
years and years ago. I worked with a girl at Oak and Barrel Brewing Company, and it was one of the first women brewers I knew. Tanya Cornett, and she moves out to Portland and becomes the Brewer of the Year, the Great American.
Oh, perfect, nice.
I mean,
good for her.
She's moved on to 10 Barrel. She was at Bend Brewing. Now she's on to 10 Barrel, and just fantastic brewer. I mean, she's a rock star. So
nice.
It just more and more. Sure, there's lots of girls in town. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's.
But is it like traditionally,
if you have
beer
a
was
brain,
like
you can
more
live.
of more of a masculine, more of a manly, like guys met up for beers or whatever.
Right.
And then you got, and good for them. It's all good. You got the females getting involved, and they're doing great things like your friends and everything like that. So I think it's amazing that.
It's a huge growing market, period, for craft beer.
It is. We've talked about this a lot on the show, and I've noticed it for again, just like you said, even 10, 15, when I was in the party scene. you go to a party and you getting beer for the boys, and then what do you guys want? And the girls are getting Bartles and James
Zima, or whatever.
Which was funny because some of the guys, made fun. Said, "Well, that's stronger than the beer you're drinking," but we won't teach you about it.
Right, yeah.
But it was fun. But yeah, I think wine and the wine coolers are bigger with the women. But now I think, and I think it's because of all the flavors that are involved with the craft beer that women are more involved in it because there's different stuff out there.
I think it's awesome.
It's not just a lager or a pilsner.
Good for them. Yeah.
So I think that's why you see a lot more women, and I'm seeing more women drinking more, drinking more whiskey and drinking some of the heavier beers than you see a lot of guys. It's hard to get some guys.
Bourbon and cigar bars. You see a lot of women in there that they just enjoy.
It's hard to get some guys to cross over who've been drinking Bud all their life. It's like, and their girlfriend's drinking a craft beer and they're drinking some skunk Bud because they, they're stuck in their ways. It's funny, but
skunk Bud is a whole different. That's a different show.
Yeah, I don't even look at it.
It always comes back to the rave.
At gender at all. I just I just look at them all as colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
That's
actually I will.
No, and that's great. I mean, it's good that you do. I'm just saying that people. I mean, I think you do because you're a brewer, and they're colleagues. But I think a lot of people think, oh, it's a
man's
what
thing.
I want to say. Right. It's traditionally, but it's not. You're right anymore.
Yep.
And I think that's really cool that the girls are getting involved, the ladies are getting involved, and they're, like you said, their colleagues are on an equal level with everybody else, and it's really neat.
Hang on. So I had to step away and get a beer, but I'm glad this is where it finished. So actually, traditionally, women were the first brewers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. We're getting educated.
I like it.
B, I read an article and it kind of set things straight, and it put to, it helped me.
He read an article.
Just one. Well, let's be fair.
The only one.
I had to have somebody read it to me, but it made sense. It made sense. At this point, like, we want to get this business to the point where when you say, "Oh wow, that's amazing, you're a female brewer," it's almost an insult. You don't go, I'm gonna go to my female accountant or my female lawyer or my female doctor. You go to your doctor, your lawyer, your accountant. There's nothing that happens back there that is gender specific that a woman can't do.
I think we're pretty close to that already, because or at least for those of us in the scene, yeah. I mean, you're like, I could care less if who's actually brewing it as long as it's a good beer.
Exactly.
It's the same way with comedy. People say, "Oh, you're really funny for a female. You're really funny for they don't even use the word comedian anymore. You know what I mean? It's kind of went to the wayside.
Yeah.
And people were like, I could care less if you're a man, a woman, an alien, or whatever. Just get on my stage and make people laugh. I don't care. And that's where it's going to. And that's kind of the point I was trying to make. The ratio of male to female brewers, male to female comics, male to female whatever. As long as you're doing a good job doing what you're doing, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Hey Jerry,
it goes back to this is I got a few people might.
You didn't
get
say there was a C.
A few people might get this one, right?
Yeah, the A and
so
the B.
I always love when they ask Doug Williams, who's going into the Super Bowl. So, how long have you been a black quarterback? Really? We look at it that way.
Yeah,
He's a quarterback. You're a brewer.
Yeah,
awesome.
don't care. Yep.
Awesome.
But I think you're seeing less. I mean, I think that stigma is really dying out. You don't hear it much anymore. Which
But
is nice,
the brewers are the quarterbacks of the brewery.
They are.
I mean,
yeah.
really,
It's true.
How long have you been an asshole brewer?
How long have I been a brewer?
Yeah, I think we need to get to a point where you don't have to care if they're a brewer or not. They're just an asshole or they're not.
Most.
And I don't even care if they're an asshole, just as long as they're making good brew.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Actually, we could go back and say how many brewers are not assholes.
That would be there's a small number there.
That would actually be more of an interesting conversation.
Jerry, I got a happy face on. I mean, what do I got here?
Happy
What's our
face.
Happy face?
It's our Midwestern Pale Ale, classic Midwestern Pale Ale. So it's got plenty of hop in there.
Mm-hmm.
So many styles now. Is that really a style? Nice.
It's quit asking Jerry to describe the beers.
Yeah. So
Happy Face is amazing. It's a modernized Midwestern style pale,
Gotcha.
right? Which means it's got a little bit more malt base to it, right?
Right.
But you look at it, you look at that color, it's a little darker. Jerry's paying homage to the beers that we drank growing up.
Yeah.
He's paying homage to Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. You know, it's got a nice dried out, complex malt base to it, but then the big citrusy American hops coming out over the top. This was the first beer. Higher. It was maybe 6 or 7 days into the fermenter, and Jerry poured me a sample, and I got excited. I was like, if this finishes out the way it's tasting right now, like, we got something here. We got something we could take to the next level. We're gonna put Midwestern hoppy beers back on the map.
30, 40 on the IBU at least.
50.
Okay. Yeah.
Up to around 50.
You're way off, Patrick.
Way off. Well, around, like I said, around 35, 40 is where I can really start. And then at that point, it starts to get, it could be 80, and it's all, you know, those ones that are the super, you know, hoppy ones, I'll take a sip, and I can't do those.
It's also about how you use those hops, though.
Right, it's the kind of hops, too.
We had an IPA or a stout during the winter that was 50 IBUs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know it.
Wow.
But it's, you know, it's what's
how you
what's
do
balancing out those hops.
With a buttload of dry hop as well.
Right.
But it was definitely not a hop forward beer.
Nice.
By any means.
And that's probably where that's the ones I get. The hop forward ones are they're just not my cup of tea. I'm a stout porter, and then in the summer, you know, I love my sours. You know, I love finding new sours and the occasional tarts. The tart one, you know, lambics are great. Flanders, you know, I like looking for ones of those. I really do. And there's a lot of those coming out right now because it's summertime.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's still good. It's very good.
You know, the pale ales and the hoppy beers. It is the way you hop it. You know, a lot of people like to load them up front with all, you know, a lot of bittering.
Yes.
I like to maybe load it in the back end with
mellow,
flavor and aroma.
A little more mellow, yeah.
Just
it's kind of a more.
It's more the modern way.
It's kind of more expensive. But
yeah. This is just a comedian coming out in me. He said, "Load it in the back end."
Sounds about right. Go, Jeremy.
I don't get it. I actually
because
want
if
you
you
to try
load,
the next
okay,
beer.
forget it.
Speaking of the back end, let's switch to the next beer. Wait.
Where are we going?
No, I don't know. Which one do you want us to go to?
Blue on white.
Are you guys both born and raised Indiana, or is that?
I am.
Are you?
Where at?
Up until about 5th grade, all over the place. But then we moved to the South Side, Center Grove area.
Yeah, I grew up in Irvington, on
Nice.
Washington and Arlington, right there on the corner where that Village Pantry was for years.
Eric just made his
Sorry, I
face
broke-
when
I
he
didn't
said
think we
South
were
Side,
talking-
and we
I
just
didn't
had a
think we were talking
discussion
about
about the South Side. And
We
we
did
on
on the way down here.
And he just made a face when he said South Side. Did it
No,
have anything
that
to
was
do with
because
it?
I pulled I ruined my headphone. I couldn't hear anything.
Okay.
The cord,
sorry,
the
I'm-
cord
I
fell
was-
out of his headphones.
I
I
was trying
saw
to
it.
break
He's
your
fine.
equipment.
You're fine.
No, you're
Sorry.
good.
Sorry.
We were having a conversation about
South Detroit.
Jeremy's mama in the South Side of Detroit. She said, "There's no South Side of Detroit." I'm like, okay, technically anything below the center half of any city or wherever point you put out on a map is a south side of wherever you're
The
at.
conversation was, she said, "There's no such thing as South Detroit," and I was like, "Yes, there is. It's the southernmost part of Detroit."
What song was that from? You were talking about
Journey. It's
Journey.
yeah.
We're listening to Journey on the way down. So
Was
He
that
said,
the 8-track?
Born and raised in South Detroit. Well, no, he's got a.
well, no, yeah, but my 2007 Nitro, I took out the regular nice, the nav system and put in an 8-track because, you know.
Trying to talk him into a
Because
reel-to-reel.
you're old school.
I'm going to put a reel-to-reel in my car. Yes, I like it.
So, sorry, as I ripped I ruined your headphones.
You're
and
good.
all that
No,
stuff.
you didn't.
I've been here for about a decade. I grew up in Cincinnati. So
Okay.
similar cities, but I mean, I love Indianapolis.
We won't hold it against you.
I'm had all right. I see how it is.
It's a fun city. Huh?
I see how it is.
We'll talk slower, right? It's the old joke.
Fair enough.
How's that football team going? Sorry, I had to get a dig in there. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I just teased.
I dig the Reds or the I dig the Colts, but the Bengals did make the playoffs.
Did they? Did they finally?
Not
Have
this
they ever
past
won
year.
one?
Not this past year.
Won a playoff game?
Shut up.
It's like the Cubs. They'll
Even
have
in
their
your life?
time.
Maybe in your life.
They'll have their time. Maybe this year.
They've been close for a while.
Well, yeah. There are lots of teams.
They're
that have
doing
been
better.
So, what are we drinking? Because this is really nice too.
Oh, yeah. Where
Like
we
I,
at?
like I don't see. I
Oh.
don't even like the
Oh,
fight.
God,
Like
yeah,
I love both cities. What are we?
Oh,
what are
no.
we
We're
complaining?
just
Exactly.
In
because
your
we're guys.
hands.
Because
In
we're
your
guys and we
hands.
poke each other.
I see how it is. But I mean, I can't like defend one side or the other. I can
No.
just make fun of both. I
No,
guess.
I
sure,
can make
'cause
fun of
you-
Colts all day long.
I I appreciate. No, I'm just kidding. You have Kiss IPA in your hands. This is a true West Coast style IPA. Everything that Jerry did in this beer is to
It's a Midwest
showcase the
Coast
hop. Shut up.
Southside.
Everything he did in this beer is
Southside
to
West Coast.
showcase the hop flavor and aroma. So you're not getting that strong
West
bitterness.
Coast.
No,
State
I
Road
I mean,
one.
it's,
really
it's
nice.
80 IBUs, but it's all about the flavor and aroma.
Mm-hmm.
This is a South by East-West.
No, this is so we this is a true West Coast IPA. The malt is even diminished more than the pale ale. The pale ale we had a little malt backbone in there. This is a hop showcase.
Yes.
So
The malt
we
acts as a
initially
pedestal.
and initially we didn't come out with this as a house beer because I just didn't know I could contract the main hop, which is Simcoe. Keep it Simcoe, stupid, is where Kiss comes from. So once I found and actually asked my purveyors if I could contract Simcoe, and they said yes, I was like, oh,
Okay,
all right
we
then.
got it. House beer.
And then I've been trying to keep up since.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, it's
bet.
solid. I'm liking it.
And again, this is why you don't worry about IBUs because you would never
Right.
know.
What's
it was
the
80.
IBU on
It's
this
all
one?
about how you get
80?
it.
That's 80.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's
yeah,
all
that
about
that
you.
has less of a
It's
harshness for what I'm doing than the last one, than the Happy Face.
It's
my
not
on
the
my
size of
palate.
the tool; it's how you use it.
But it but it is also everybody's palate.
Or wait,
unique,
wait.
you know. I mean,
Let's go back on that.
everybody's palate's still got a uniqueness to it. So, and again, like you said, depends on where you're putting the hops, and where that profile's at, and where it's gonna burn you.
Well, yeah, you know, and you got some real nice fruity flavors in there.
Definitely, yeah, that helps balance it out. I mean, we've tried some of our brews, and we a couple wrong hop profiles on that, and just kind of like, all right, did we mean to brew a black IPA?
Right, but nothing is. I mean, I'm not an IPA fan. Nothing is overpowering in that beer.
Sure.
No, not at all.
No,
It's
no,
all
you're-
real smooth, real
really
mellow.
nice.
It's really
The
good.
empty cup in front of you disagrees.
Right, no, I said nothing is overpowering. It's like it's really
The taste is overpowering to the point where you want more.
where I want to. I
There you
drink the
go.
whole thing. Right. Usually I would take a sip and then give it to Brendan, and then it's like. But yeah, it's nice. I
Yeah,
like it.
you definitely get the hop up front, but that fruitiness, that sweetness,
It's
just
the bitter
mellows
on
it
the
right out.
Yeah, the bitter on the back end is
Mellow.
is
But
fine.
still, to me, it doesn't punch me in the face.
No.
It's not like
No, that'll be later.
right on the way home.
It's a way homer.
Nice.
I tried my best. It's hard to compete, you know. I was apparently on fire like one of our last shows. I was throwing one-liners out there, Jeremy. You would have been proud of
Because
me.
I wasn't there.
You would have been
Yeah.
proud of me, man.
Oh yeah.
Because I was very quiet the whole show, but I would just drop in like a Baba Booey kind of stuff, you know.
All right.
And you know,
Then I think you went
too.
too far at one point, and we had to shut you down.
Well, yeah, but
the
you
last-
guys took it wrong. You guys
said
took
we
it
couldn't
wrong.
go too
Yeah.
far.
No,
So-
they misunderstood the statement I was making, and,
Well,
and they,
when you
they
unzip,
made it. They
when you
made it
unzip your
uncomfortable.
pants, it's kind of hard to not understand. You know.
They made it uncomfortable. Where do you think that hole in the tablecloth came from?
I was been staying away.
The little one?
Yeah. Nice. I
I
like
have a
it.
shot with a BB, with an airsoft pellet or something.
But that was definitely the main the biggest question for the first 3 months. 3-4 months we started is you're opening a brewery without an IPA.
in Indiana,
Now,
especially.
yeah, in Indiana especially. Now,
So-
are you dropping into some higher ones? You know, the doubles and the triples and the 900 bajillion IBUs and
Right now, just 6 months in, we're building the brand and trying to
Good.
keep those house beers going. I
Mhm.
mean, like I said, especially since IPA came on as a house and the lager, they really move well, and
Yeah.
the other two are hold on real nice, and nice enough that we keep them really fresh. I really think we got the freshest beer in town.
what is your capacity right now? What
we
are you guys
have,
brewing?
So we have a 30-barrel brew house with straight 30-barrel fermenters. Maxed out, we could probably do almost 3,000 barrels a year.
Are you guys canning or growlers and stuff? Anything?
Growlers for sure, but
Growl.
canning eventually.
Okay.
eventually.
Yeah, we're still building to that point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that takes a lot.
6 months
especially
in, you go. Yeah.
even to get the mobile canner guys, for a run and all that is still that's a big investment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we just don't. I mean, honestly, we don't have the demand yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go hand sell those 6-packs at every store. We need
Sitting out front.
people to know who we are.
Hey, kid.
And I tell you,
so what's your commission? How much do you want for each one of those?
Nice, I like it.
you definitely have to get down here because it is, and it's a unique spot. It's hard. I mean, but if you don't know the area, you don't know right where it's at. But you're not far from anywhere.
We're so close to downtown. Yeah.
Right, you're right there, and as most places don't have parking. I mean,
trying to get.
So this is unique for a brewery.
We pulled
too.
right up front. We had a lot of shit to carry in, so it's
But they got a big parking. I mean, it is very unique for a brewery, especially in Indiana. That you got nice
especially
parking
downtown. And,
Yeah,
in
and
this
it doesn't
area.
matter.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters how hard it is to find. Everyone's got GPS. Everyone's got a phone. Just
Yeah.
type in the address and get here
Get
because it's an
Honestly,
amazing place with some amazing beers.
Yeah.
It's only hard to find the first time.
I-
It really
I-
is.
there
And
you
after
go.
that,
Right, and
I
then
mean,
you're gonna-
It just makes sense. It makes sense where we are. The last time we went to a Pacers game, we walked. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
that
awesome.
far, and that's on
No.
the far side of downtown from here.
Yeah.
We're less than a mile to the other side of Lucas Oil.
I have a confession.
From here
It's
to,
What do you
to
got,
Lucas
Jerry?
Oil is less than a mile.
Yeah,
do you got, Jerry?
to the far side.
I have
I'm
a
still driving.
So my confession right now.
Blind pig confession from
I was,
Jerry.
I was low on beer, so I tried to text Max at the bar that can I get a kiss, please? And I
Uh-oh.
accidentally texted my last friend that texted me, my buddy that. and Max just said, "Get it yourself." So. No, I'm not kidding right now. As a friend of mine asked, we wanted to have a drink. I was like, "Oops."
Get a kiss?
Well, so you got plans for after the podcast. That's good. That's awesome. That's good for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Well, what beer makes you do? There we
Which
go.
one we hitting next?
Let's get into those last two. Put them both in front of you. I don't remember which side's which.
We'll figure it out.
That should be the Angle Juice.
That's the
The
collaboration,
collaboration
correct?
we did with Sun King.
The angle juice.
Yes.
Angle juice.
Not Angel
Yeah,
Juice.
that's definitely Angle Juice.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's Blue Dog
So
Porter.
yeah, Angle Juice
That's-
we
Let's
designed.
talk about the Angle Juice.
Yeah, Angle Juice we designed as the name comes from, it's the bar gamer's performance enhancer. It really is. So
Bar gamers performance.
bar
enhancer.
gamer. So
That's all you need to say.
pool,
Thanks.
darts, pinball,
quarters.
quarters,
Wait, you
Whatever-
guys got euchre here?
whatever you're playing, we do. The first
Wow.
Sunday of every month.
And trivia
We've got
too, right?
Trivia is every
Yeah.
Monday. Or no, every Sunday. I'm sorry. Every
Alright.
Sunday.
I wanted to know more about this because I tried this when I first got here, and it was unique because it's a very light beer, but
Yeah.
yet there's still a lot of flavor in there.
So it
There's no
starts. It's an Americanized dark mild.
Okay.
So dark mild's a low ABV, dried out English brown,
Mhm.
basically. So it's 3.7% alcohol, and then we hopped it up. It's
I'm
As we do.
surprised. Go ahead, Jerry.
Said as we do.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the dryness for a 3 point. What was it, about 3 point? I think I'm reading up
3.2?
there 3.6 or something. If I'm reading on the board.
he may have adjusted.
Yeah,
it.
don't get cocky.
I go with-
it's
I go
podcast.
with-
Let
I go
everyone know
with
you're
what
reading
I'm
on the board.
told.
Hey, I got to act like I know
Jerry,
what I'm doing.
whatever Jerry tells me the first time, that's what I call it. The rest. Of it.
Okay.
So Jerry told me 3.7. I call it.
But
3.7.
but even then,
I didn't write that up there. I don't care.
even then, it's under 4, and it's got a really good dry quality to it, which is surprising because usually you got to get try to get a little higher gravity off that to evaporate off the tongue fast enough. But I like it.
Cool.
What is that? It's a mild what? I'm sorry.
American Dark Mild.
American dark mild. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. Usually something that light, again, as a porter and stout guy, but that got so much flavor in it that it's really nice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
we
it.
were.
That's amazing. Yeah,
We were
good
lucky
job.
enough to have
Yeah.
Sun King allow us to join in on that, and it was fun.
So are they brewing it or
Yes.
you're brewing it?
We
Both.
we both brewed it. They brewed a batch.
Okay.
This is the very end of it.
And they
that
serve
we
it at
have
their
that we brewed.
breweries as well.
I think they rolled through theirs already. I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah, they did.
Nice.
They
like
did.
the Fisher's location, so they did like a 9-barrel batch.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
we went up and brewed on their
It's good to hear.
nice little system up there, and then they came down and brewed here, and it was fun.
I like
It's-
I like those
Good.
collaborations still.
I
And
think-
it's nice to see them still sticking with doing some local collaborations and all that
Yeah,
too.
they
you
were-
know?
it was
great
an
with
honor.
us.
It was an honor. We've been friends for a while. All of us, Jerry's known those guys longer than any of us, but still, when they ask, you say yes.
Yeah, of course.
But this is one of the last kegs, if not the last.
Okay.
So we're going to pour
great.
through it, and then it's gone.
So I was talking to Patrick and Brendan before we were setting up. It's like it's amazing the Indianapolis, the brewery scene, how much everyone works together. And I thought it would be much more competitive and more cutthroat.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not. I've seen so many, guest tabs or collaborations, or we worked with these guys, or this, that, you know what I mean? And it's amazing that they just want to make beer better. You know what I mean? That's the whole idea behind.
There's room for everybody.
Everybody enjoying beer. Everybody, and it's like in comedy, like I can hit an open mic every day, every week. You know what I mean? It's like you don't need to like cut people's throats, or you know what I mean, or there's plenty of room for everybody to perform comedy, and it's the same way with beer. It's like I don't need to like push you away or whatever. Let's work together and let's just make beer great for Indianapolis.
Yeah,
Things
it's a
that make
great
people
community.
happy.
Yeah,
Beer and comedy.
Sure, yeah.
Well, and even as big a thing as craft beer is, here it's booming really well. But if you do go into a spot, if it's your first time and it's not good, that's not good for everyone else. So so we all do work together, and it's just a really nice community.
Keep the bar high. Well, you
Probably
keep
why
keep the bar high. If you do that, the bar stays high.
Yeah.
Even like you said on the intro, with new people coming in, you've got a high bar to set if you want to stay with the rest of the crew, and then they're going to tell you if it's bad, and that's the nice part too. If you can put it to them that, dude, you need to, no, this isn't going to work for you. Yeah, that black IPA just ain't happening.
Yeah, sometimes you mainly become friends with anyone who gets into it, because everyone's in it because they love the beer. But every once in a while, you have to have a little tough talk with people and say, "Hey, man, I think you might need to address this." But a melee.
All right, go ahead.
So before we got a few minutes left, man. We just rolled through this.
We did. It's amazing. It was actually real. It was real easy.
When you got good beer and good conversation,
we're doing well.
A lot of information, things I didn't know, things that our listeners probably would be happy to hear of. Or
did we get to the last beer?
Though, let's be fair. The easy thing, things you didn't know. That's not.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah, that's probably everything that's been said through the whole last hour or so. It's probably things I don't know.
We don't have time
hand,
for that.
and your hand is a beer.
It's such good beer, but he's an asshole. You know what I mean? It's like, how does he make it work? It's like he's a dickhead, but he gives me beer, and it cancels everything out.
Exactly.
So the last beer we're drinking is the first beer I ever had by you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Blue Dog.
Where
Porter.
at? Where'd you have this one at?
To the next top model.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It was
Yes.
a setup. I set him up. He knocked him down.
That's our Blue Dog
Nice.
Porter. It's an English porter. It was actually it was brewed and kind of without a handle. We brewed the beer. It's an English porter. Pretty I think true to style. Might be one of the most true to style, the most true to style beer I've ever brewed. And the name came about after the fact. So
What's the name for?
Our number one taproom bartender. If you've been in here at any time, she's going to be with one or two dogs. So she's got one dog named Sour. She's a beer lover, obviously.
Nice.
Sour's a three-legged pit bull mix, and then we got Porter, who is a beautiful blue
Blue nose pit.
nice.
pit.
Yeah.
And he's just got the greatest temperament in the world, and he's back there. The girls just go crazy for him. So his name's Porter, so Blue Dog Porter. She came to us
She was sitting there. She was
with
sitting
the
there.
logo and everything.
She had a couple beers in her, and was like, I'm going to be mad if you don't name this beer after Porter. I was like, it's already in the style. Like, what do you want? And because I'm just like, I would love to. I have no idea what you mean. And she said, Blue Dog Porter. And I was like, done. I'll take it to the team. I'll pitch it. Just consider it done.
Did that other dog have 3 legs before the brew started, or did he have 4 legs? I'm just wondering what might be the special ingredient. And if we're only going to get 3 more iterations of
if
this
they do
beer,
another batch and it's a 2-legged dog, then we'll know.
There's only going to be 3 more versions of this beer.
We're
3
barrel
more.
aging that batch.
Yeah. We haven't soured yet, so we'll have to see how that comes out.
It's on the
So I
second.
gotta-
It's on
I
the
gotta
second
share,
leg of the brewing process.
Oh, look at that.
So my favorite little story.
I like my mango better.
I got to give some accolades to Jerry on this.
You're
so
welcome.
like, I love to do my whole process. Like I write our descriptions. I've done that for a long time for multiple breweries, whatever. It's I have like my little artistic process, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you guys this the last time, but you know what? I'm gonna tell it to you again because I
Go
don't
for
care. You can edit it out, whatever.
He's not gonna edit it
so
out.
I don't know
how to edit.
I pour my pint. I go back into my office or wherever I could be by myself, and I start. I take a smell, and I continue to smell, and I start with the column on the left of what I'm smelling in that beer. Then I go to the column on the right, and I take a sip, and I lay out what I'm tasting, and then I already have some knowledge of the style and some history of the style. And I usually already have an idea of, with this one, it was Blue Dog Porter, right? So I'm going to talk about our top bartender or top bar back, and not really let it go that he's a dog. Like, yeah, all you have to do is scratch his belly and give him a treat, and he'll make sure you're happy all night long. Ha ha ha. But so for this, I took it back. We had already
The brewer will as well.
We do that with cow. That's
brewer
what we
will
usually
as
do to
well.
cowboy. That's what cowboy.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
cowboys' incentive too.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, Cowboy and I walked up. Go ahead.
I was just saying,
Oh,
so
keep going.
for this, I got back like 45 minutes after the actual event had started. And
Mm-hmm.
like, they were after me about a description, and I'm like, I'm not writing about a new beer until I've had the beer. So when we finally, I got back, we tapped it, like literally kegged it off an hour and a half before, tapped it 45 minutes before. I poured my
Freshest
pint,
beer in town.
went into the back, got through the taste or the smell column, got to the taste column. I took a sip, and I had to actually put the pint down and get up and go out and find Jerry. And it happened that there were some ladies he was talking to, and I just said, Jerry, I gotta, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna say it now. I'm not
Would you
waiting.
block him?
I was just like, Jerry, this is honestly one of the best and most true to style English porters I've ever had. Like, I had to just let you know before I go back and try to write the rest of the description. I don't think it helped with the ladies that night, but it really
and
is.
What,
I mean,
and what did
it's-
I say?
I don't know.
Back off! I'm on my game
You're,
right now.
you're welcome or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
But this is we
That's
walked
awesome,
up to
man.
the we were at the Next Hot Model, and I hadn't had you. I hadn't been able to get down here. We tried to get down here. You guys weren't open. You're like shit. And then we hadn't been down here since. So
He just
Next
sat
Hot
there
Model.
he just sat there banging on the windows.
We did actually. Me and George.
I was
because we were
inside-
at Chili
I was
Water.
ins-
We came right down here. We
I was
couldn't
inside
get in.
raving with my glow sticks.
Looking in the window like starving orphans, just waiting for a crumb
were.
of some type of.
Somebody open up.
There's just
So we
a
went
dog
to,
in here going nuts.
We went to the counter, and I got the porter, and Cowboy got the Irish coffee, and that was my first
Yeah.
take. So we stepped back, took a drink. I was like, holy shit. We passed glasses, so I
Solid.
had the Irish, and it was like, I mean, their first thing was, yeah, we got to get these guys on. So, I mean, I really did love, and that was my first beer from you guys, and everything is just amazing. Really,
Great.
you guys had just such great, clean beers, and I love that Irish porter tradition, and it is. It's just a clean,
Beauty.
it's classic, and it's a beautiful, I could drink that. To me, that's an all-day drinker, which a lot of people, porter and stouts, you don't call all-day drinkers, but
Right.
Right, but
that
if
one
you
I
keep
could
true to
because it's
style
so
on that
smooth.
porter. It's smooth enough. It's
yeah.
not too dry. It's not
I
too
could-
hoppy.
I could
it's-
knock them back.
Yeah, you're solid on that one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Thank
beautiful.
I
And-
dig it a
and-
lot. Well done, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Well, before we go, I know we got to get the CEO on here
Yeah.
for a
Let
few
me.
minutes.
I'm gonna step away.
All
Go
right.
work the bar. I'll let Max come talk
Good
to you.
deal.
All right.
She's much more entertaining than we are.
I'm Busey.
This is Chili from
Dos
Dos Ringos.
Ringos.
You're listening to Blind Pig Confession.
Woo!
Hey, back again.
We're doing it.
We're still around town.
Yeah.
The table just got pretty.
It did. Finally. Thank God. Love Eric, but man, he was starting to
Oh,
annoy me.
jeez. So not
How does
easy
that
on
guy-
the eyes.
how does that guy
So not
sell-
easy on the eyes.
We kid.
How does that guy sell anything?
Or the ears.
I'm just
Just
kidding.
doesn't
can-
stop
All
talking.
right, he's got a
until someone
podcast
agrees.
face.
we had to twist his arm to get him to speak. I didn't know what we were going to do with him.
Beat you down.
But yes, the beauty is under the table. So Maxine, we love having you here, and you, of course,
Oh,
are the
bless their
CEO. You're
hearts.
making this all happen. You're the CEO.
Something like that, yes.
We met over at the Hot Model.
Yes.
Nice.
You know, that was a good
Lovely
night for you guys.
time.
How was that?
Oh, it was a blast.
Yeah.
Most fun I've had at a beer event, if I'm being honest.
It was pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan over at Redemption, he's pretty
Oh,
freaking
he earned
hilarious.
the title,
He earned-
I must say.
I mean, come on, anybody goes through like 8 hours of body painting, and
Yes.
that's a lot
Yeah.
of body.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year, I heard if he decides to compete, there will be no shorts this time though.
Really?
Like I heard banana hammock was happening this last year, but
I'm not even
no,
gonna show
I'm just
up. Can't compete with that.
Just kidding, Dan. We love you.
Plantain hammock.
Sorry, I took it off track, Brendan.
Baby carrot hammock. Anyway.
Baby carrot hammock.
Sorry.
Dude, Max, she already spilled her beer once. Now you almost made her spit it out.
Yeah, jeez.
So we've been loving your beer for the last hour, and it's amazing. Jerry's doing an amazing job with this beer. I mean, as you know.
Yeah,
good solid staples, everything around. You know, everything's very solid.
And I think we talked about how model. I said I wanted to get a little bit more into the history as how this happened and what brought you guys together to get this going.
We worked together at Rock Bottom, and just jokes kind of turned into more serious conversations.
Oh, really?
And yeah, pretty much. And
they always end the same way. Give me $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah, he would say to me, "Do you got $1 million?" And I'd say no to you, and I would be like, "Okay, well, maybe next time." And then finally it was like, "Well, how hard can it be? You know, let's just see how far we get."
Wait, so you got $1 million now?
Well, not quite. No. There are some loans. There's, we scrapped together enough to get open. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you weren't that Zionsville lottery ticket winner or whatever? No, I don't know.
Said he didn't want to give us any money, but figured it out.
Well, it's beautiful, and there's it's summertime. It's festival season's upon us.
Indeed.
We were all at Grand Junction a few weeks ago, but we have a big summer coming up. Where are you guys going to be at this summer?
A handful of events scheduled so far. June 3rd, we're doing Anderson on Tap.
Okay. We did that a year ago or so, I think, right?
Yes.
Last year, yeah. Actually, that was the first festival I went to with Brennan when I moved up here.
Mm-hmm.
All right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob's taking the lead on that one because Jerry's also having his class reunion here that day.
Class reunion?
5 years.
Something like that, yes. Class of
GED, the GED classes have reunions?
Ouch.
The homeschool class reunion.
You mean you're going over to your mom's house?
And you wouldn't go to that party?
Well, yeah.
Hell yes, yeah.
Totally go to that party.
I'm serious.
I do 5 minutes of dick jokes at that party.
We're looking for entertainment.
Well, I know some guys.
Sure.
It just went really weird.
Beautiful.
What else? June 15th, we're doing Inside the Bottle, which is put on by Outside the Box. So it's not really a traditional.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen any notice on that one yet.
It's more of just a smaller, low-key event. So Outside the Box is a local charity here. They work to empower kind of developmentally challenged folks. And they're super close to us. We did one of our monthly Pound of Cure events was to benefit them. So this one's going to be fun. It's kind of fancy. We get to go to the Lucas Mansion. And,
oh, nice.
All right.
And it's all for a good cause.
What date is that again?
That is June 15th.
Awesome.
So you'd want to go to Outside the Box to get details on how to get tickets. And then the 17th, of course, we're doing Brouhaha.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes.
It's kind of in my backyard, so I'm pretty excited for that one.
Block party.
Yes, indeed.
Are we on that one yet? We got to call some people.
Yeah, that's one of the few we haven't. There's just so many to keep up with.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, June's pretty packed.
June, July, yeah.
That same day, we're doing Taste of Lafayette.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Goodness.
so
You're splitting up.
somehow or another, we'll staff it
Somehow.
all, yes.
All right. I like it.
Then the 23rd is
just
a
tastes like
Tasteful
tears.
Affair. What does?
Lafayette.
Oh, come on. Oh, it's because
It tastes like-
Purdue.
It's pretty, yeah, there
Failure at
That one for
failure at
Hardwick.
fertilizer and
Well, yeah, Hardwick told us to, I was like, well, sadly I'm a Purdue guy, so sorry. I came in with boiler up. That's the first thing I said to Jerry.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good. Apparently, it
I
wasn't a good
thought you were
idea.
going to shoot Patrick in the head.
Max
He
has a
almost
couple
walked out.
degrees. from
All
my
those samples have
Bloomington.
spit in
Couple,
it,
just one.
Well,
Major and
minor.
a minor. It doesn't count as 2 degrees. But yeah.
It does when you got a GED.
Did really well in high school. Thank you very much.
I meant me.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
remember his GED class reunion.
Right, yes. Class of 87. Sorry, busted you out.
Wow.
I didn't mean to blast you.
Zing!
Okay, another
30 years to get a
Yes.
GED? Jesus.
Let's get a brew and beer. leave it at that. And then finally in June 23rd, we'll be at A Tasteful Affair. So this is to benefit lupus, and it's at another kind of fancy one. Yeah. It's at the Ritz-Carlton up in Carmel.
Nice.
So yeah, that should be a good time. And yeah, you can get tickets through A Tasteful Affair. I believe they're $55 a piece, or there's package deals as well.
She pronounced it right. Are you an Indiana native?
Northern Indiana, yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Northern Indiana.
Oh, yeah. She said Carmel.
Well, because I have an accent and people make fun of it, so I just figured I'd get that out of the way. Yes, I'm from almost Michigan.
So you're Michiana.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
I know phrases.
Very good.
I hang out with him. He's Michiana too.
So when you say fancy affair, like we could go dressed as we are now.
I think they kind of want it to be like,
You need to put a shirt on.
Just a bow tie.
Well, I was told to wear black, but I'm just working it.
Right.
So
I need to wear pants, is what you're saying.
I think that's part of the deal, yes.
Because usually fancy means Speedo and a bow tie for me. So
yeah, this is a little classier, I think.
They like to keep it classy.
So also, every week you guys have special days here every week. So every Sunday you guys have the trivia.
Yes.
Every Sunday at 6:30. On Mondays you guys have growler fills.
$6.
$6 for
Yeah.
Oh, you can't beat that. And
6 o'clock for trivia, by the way.
6 o'clock.
What'd I say?
It's Eric's shift, so by the time it gets
menu is in
going,
the
it's
way,
probably
so-
closer to 6:30.
Is Eric doing? Is Eric the one reading the trivia?
Yeah, Sunday's Eric's
So
day,
I
and
was right.
I just
So
stay
there.
away. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, you might be.
Yeah, you did the.
And then on Tuesdays, you guys, people
I
can bring.
might have a guy for you on that. We
Oh,
can
yeah?
talk about
Okay,
that.
we'll
yeah.
talk, we'll
we got,
talk.
We got the guy
So
who does one of the. He does our. He's voted last 2 years in a row Nouveau best trivia.
Oh, good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
He hasn't been here on Sunday.
So on Tuesday
But he
nights,
might be able
people
to make
can
it
actually
nice.
bring their own vinyl in.
That is correct. Yes.
That's awesome.
And then you
we,
guys play your own mix of everybody else's and yours and everything. So
yeah, it's just kind of laid back. There's not any kind of like get in line. It's
Until it
just
becomes a fight.
nice. Yeah, until someone gets the nose broke. Right.
I would block Brendan from the door because there's going to be a lot of Tom Jones and.
oh lordy, that's okay.
And then
I'll have this place
also
rocking. I'll tell you that.
at Round Town Brewery, it's free pinball on Tuesdays with the free vinyl. So
Yes.
that's awesome. That's something.
Wait,
Yes.
you weren't here for the rave talks because I was talking about the vinyl night. Could I bring my vinyl? Because like I said, this place reminds me of a place because I used sadly enough I used to rave back in the day, but this has been like '93. But I didn't do drugs or nothing. But I still I
Did it
spun.
wrong.
I did it horribly wrong. The only stuff we ever used to do was like the bottles of like the Village
you dance that
Pantry,
way on
Trucker
purpose?
Speed.
Oh, like the 5-hour
Ephedrine?
energy.
The little
The
ephedrine
ephedrine.
pills.
Is it ephedrine or ephedrine? Whatever. Yeah.
She's young.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it
it's-
was like
Basically, we were popping. It was Sudafed.
Okay.
All the time, but it was very
was
weird. Just
Sudafed
lots of Red Bull
without
and
the
Sudafed.
Sudafed.
okay.
And
But I'm gonna bring
Never
my
mind.
my vinyl. There we go. And I'll just bring my.
You
old,
get 3 minutes.
I get 3 minutes of. That's all right. I can do a whole show. It's the same. It's the same beat whether it's 2 hours or
I
3
know.
minutes
I
on that
know.
shit.
Exactly.
You get 3 minutes of Bee Gees, and then you're done.
No, we'll do a little house music.
it's a sandwich in between Sundays and Tuesdays.
Yep.
Are $6 growler fills on Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, we did mention
Any
that, but
beer. Oh, really?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It did get a little
We lost
lost.
it.
I don't think
Yeah.
it got- I don't think it got
Thanks for
the
listening.
attention.
Thanks for paying attention to the podcast that you're on.
I was
that you're
asking
a
some
guest
random
on.
dude.
$6 fills deserves another mention.
I was asking a
that's,
random
that's
dude
a
if
hell
he
of a
wanted
deal.
to kiss.
$6
That's an amazing
growler
deal. Yeah.
$6 growler fills is amazing.
That's
so, yeah.
amazing.
And
yes.
we don't discriminate. It's not like house beers only. It's
There's not some type of little club you have to join or little
no,
fee you have to
just
pay to
show
get
up,
that.
show
and
us
just
an
show up with
ID.
your,
Done and done.
and you can show up with any growler from any brewery and you'll fill it.
That is correct.
So if you
That's
come to
awesome.
the tap room, do you get to Jerry's got all these random like mugs and steins and all things hanging. If you request your beer in one of those, can you get it, or does it have to be?
Does that cost extra?
Well, they're pretty
for
much
charity?
They're pretty much decorations. We do have one that belongs to one of our regular patrons. So if you have your own and you want us to hang it up and drink out of it when you come
I wonder
in.
where Brendan got his little mug from.
Gee, I wonder.
They might be missing. We won't say where he got it from because they might come after you.
Oh, we love
I don't
those
even
guys.
remember the wedding
Well,
I
that's
got
true,
this
yeah.
from. Do you want to
Yeah, we did go into the
Do
whole
you
thing.
want to drink out of my mugs?
Maybe you could have people
exactly.
drink out of those steins and then have them pay extra and donate that to the
There you go.
yeah,
Happy
the Pound
How.
of Cure.
Okay.
Yeah, like it.
That's not a bad idea.
I know it's not. I just came up with it.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant idea.
And yeah, we don't. We've got our. We have our May Pound of Cure scheduled, but we don't have anyone for June yet. So if anyone has any causes you think are worthy, let
What
us
is
know.
the Pound of Cure, Max?
Pound of Cure is a monthly recurring event here in our tap room where we donate 15% of pint sales to a local charity.
Awesome.
Nice.
And then we do, additional raffles and stuff and try to raise as much. Actually, this one that next one we're doing, we'll have tickets for A Tasteful Affair
Nice.
up in
All right.
Carmel. So yeah, it's always a good time and a good cause, and
Awesome.
Very
Like
yeah,
cool.
you
Very
can get
cool.
some goodies.
Lots of stuff coming up from around town.
Yes.
Be out, check your schedules, check the festivals. It is festival season, and it goes all the way for, good Lord, September, October.
Yeah, it's
Like
it's
it's
like
when we start
hockey
hitting
now.
it,
It's
yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
9 months out of the year is
It's
beer
like
festival, which is great for
800
beer lovers. So
Oktoberfest.
yeah.
I mean, I like that better than the hockey, but
Oh, blasphemy.
Yeah.
of course.
Shut your dirty whore mouth. Patrick.
No, this is an incredible place, man. I think you guys, we can't thank you enough for having us down here. The beer is spectacular. We loved all of them.
Thank you.
Lots of easy parking.
Yeah, it's
Again, you're
Oh,
in
the parking's
downtown,
amazing.
and there's
It's the best
parking.
parking of any brewery I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
You might be right.
yeah,
Downtown? Hell yeah.
yeah,
I mean 350 spots, right?
Ever.
yeah.
yeah.
And it's free always. Colts games, we encourage you to park, tailgate, have some fun. We'll never charge a price for that. If you
Nice.
come in for a beer, great. If not, have fun at the game, I guess.
Oh, that's good to know.
Come on over across the river. The water's fine.
Yeah, it's
There you
literally
go.
like a mile from Lucas Oil. So
Yes, it's definitely walking
It's
distance.
I'm
walkable.
not-
It's a cheap Uber.
No,
It's-
it's not walking
it's
distance.
stumbleable.
It is a
It's not
mile.
for me. I'm still going to Uber from here.
That's
If
cheaper
I'm-
than parking still.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it's way
Downtown?
better than walking.
Yeah,
for me.
for event parking, it's easier. Yeah, it's you make a whole lot better on that. But it is stumbleable too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, from the fat
Railings
guys,
on the
it's
fridge, you're
Uberable.
safe.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not.
Uber stumbleable.
Well, we can't thank you guys enough, man.
We can't. We
You
had a
guys have
great
been
time.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
so much.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you. You
for
have
having us out.
to.
We'll be back. This is a great spot, so we can't wait to come again.
We'll see you guys soon.
Roundtown Brewery.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let me tell you a little story about a kid named Joe. He was born in South Carolina. Spent time with the French and Creole. Well, one day little Joe ate some shrimp from the bay, and he ain't never been the same since that fine day. Oh, Joe. Oh, little Joe had a dream one day to open up his own little seafood place. Well, it was gonna be a calabash, and old Joe's fresh shrimp would kick some serious ass. But the best laid plans sometimes go astray. Little Joe met a girl and he moved away to the Midwest, world famous for its fine selection of frozen seafood trucked in from thousands of miles. Nothing but the best. One day old Joe observed his surroundings, and he realized he'd made a grave mistake. He was working as a bean counter Well, old Joe's little dream swam away faster than a flounder in the Carolina Bay. Poor Joe. Just couldn't let this go, you know. I mean, life is short, shrimp are spawning. So Joe sold the vet and the house and dog, and his wife thought Joe had lost it, but she loved him, so she went along. Now old Joe owns a shack in the Carolines, grilling shrimp for the folks on the East Coast line. He's just as happy as he can be, but his waist size jumped to a 43. Old Joe, they call him Calabash Joe. He got a million different shrimp recipes for show. Calabash Joe, a best shrimp on the whole East Coast. Oh, Calabash Joe,